Welcome to another episode of the 99 Seconds Career Podcast. My name is Jürgen Schmid. I am career mentor and coach, consultant, teacher and speaker. Here, we will bring up all kinds of career aspects in a way you have maybe never heard before. I like you to have an awesome career. Therefore, I give you something money cannot buy, sharing experience and insight. All this every other week in 99 seconds. Let me talk today about something I see with every mentee I support who does not have a job and who is looking for one. Without job, only little money is coming in, if at all, and depending on how much money you have saved, the job hunt becomes more and more critical the more your money drains out of the bank account. Depending where you live, the unemployment benefit softens that issue, but it remains a problem. The longer the job search takes, the more desperation might build up, especially when you apply and you do not receive any feedback. Your self-esteem is deteriorating quickly. You doubt yourself. I'm useless. I'm wrong. I'm not worthy. And so on. A horrible place to be. Let's get into the 99 seconds and think about why not hearing back might have nothing to do with yourself, your experience, skills, achievements, and so on. The harsh reality in a lot of organizations is that they receive hundreds of applications for one open position, and that their recruiting process is, to phrase it mildly, less than optimal. They only get back to candidates that are promising and do not have the courtesy or resources or time or desire or a well-configured HR system to get back to the people whose application is rejected. I personally find this lacks respect for the applicants, and a nicely formulated standard email should not be difficult to automate, even if the organization has no sophisticated application tracking system. Do they know how much pain this causes over and over? Do you know how much time recruiters spend on average before they decide not to continue reading your resume? It's 7 seconds. Assuming you know how to overcome this hurdle, you might still not hearing back. To make it even more clear, even if you are the best candidate, your application might get rejected and you might not hear back as explained before. This tells us two things. Not hearing back might not have anything to do with your profile and says nothing about how good you are, but it tells us something about the organization. Why is it that they do not spot a perfect candidate? Well, the bitter truth is, there might be someone even more perfect applying to the same job at the same time. C'est la vie, as the French says, there is nothing you can do about. But that doesn't mean you are wrong, useless, unqualified and all of this. But there is more at play. As humans, we are all biased. We are hardwired to make fast decisions. And this can get into the way of recruiting. There are organizations who proactively tackle this issue, but often the "we are an equal opportunity employer" does not find its way from the corporate website into everyday's hiring practice. You are too old, too young, too experienced, too unexperienced, from the wrong university, with the wrong name or maybe skin color. Those are obvious, but there is more. The way we think is mostly influenced by hidden biases, and these biases affect how we see the world. Our upbringing, the way we were taught to fit into society, the groups we belong to, and what we see in the media all create biases. They affect how we make decisions and form opinions. In a perfect world, hiring someone would be based only on their ability to do the job well. The decision would be fair, practical, and not influenced by personal biases. But, as we know, the world isn't perfect. Sometimes external factors can make decisions less fair, even if we try to be objective. The tricky part is that these biases happen automatically without us realizing it. They affect our choices, whether we want them to or not. I want you to be aware of these biases. Here are some that regularly get into the way of hiring, and you can easily see why. Confirmation bias, preferring information that agrees with what you already think. Affect heuristics, deciding based on feelings instead of careful thinking. Expectation anchor, putting a lot of importance on the first information you hear. Halo effect, thinking someone is all good because of one good thing about them. The horn effect, which is the opposite of the halo effect, thinking someone is bad because of one bad thing about them. Overconfidence bias, being too sure about our own thoughts and abilities. Illusory correlation, seeing a connection between things that don't really have one. Affinity bias, preferring people who are like you in some way. Beauty bias, treating people better if you think they look good. Confirmation bias, going along with what a group does to fit in. And last not least, intuition, making decisions based on gut feelings instead of thinking a lot. You see, none of these say anything about yourself. It is 200% a problem of the recruiters, because they are not aware of unconscious hiring biases. They have not received suitable interview training that covers these common hiring biases. They don't make hiring decisions based on evidence, but on subjective assumptions. They're not consistent and transparent in the hiring process. And they have no standardized interview guide to ensure every candidate gets the same questions. Okay, Jürgen, but all of this does not help me to find a job, I hear you saying, and you're right to some degree. But it will help you to understand that rejection and not hearing back says nothing about yourself, and that you should not use those, as hard as it is, to demolish your self-esteem, dignity, your motivation and energy. If you maintain those, you will find it easier to go through the marathon of finding a new job. These were, in 99 seconds, some thoughts about why not hearing back might have nothing to do with you. Hope you enjoyed listening, and you will tune in for our next episodes in 2 weeks. We will then talk about the one relationship to manage carefully. In the meantime, should you have any remarks, please let me know and maybe leave me a comment. We only touched on biases. If you want to dig a bit deeper, let me know by answering the poll in Spotify. I will then focus on it in one of the next episodes. If you like my approach towards career and professional development and you want to get some more personalized guidance, please reach out. I'm career coach and mentor and would love to hear from you, whether you live round the corner or on the other side of the world. Simply go to www.99scp.com, SCP like Seconds Career Podcast. Also, please do not forget to press follow, and if you see a bell or heart icon to be notified when new episodes are coming out, please press that too, so you will never miss a new one. This was another episode of the 99 Seconds Career Podcast. Thank you for listening and thinking along. I wish you success for the path you're following or creating. My name is Jürgen Schmid, and until next time, be the difference, remain curious, and shine.